I'm not agreeing to disagreeing. I'm just making it. I'm just punching holes in it. I'm just Swiss cheesing this thing. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying you're gonna have to pay taxes anyway, baby.
But they increase and decrease based on the need. So if the need is higher because every rich man want to cheat the system, now the middleman is paying more while they pay less. It's stealing. You stealing money to pay money.
I get what you're saying, but I'm a advocate for the rich here, right?
I ain't saying this like technically are you doing it correctly? Sure.
Or is that just a wealth building strategy? What is it?
I don't think that's wealth building. That's just getting out of taxes. Like it's the taxes that they charge you, it's not gonna break you.
But
if you really can do it. Okay, that's just I don't want to do a lot of things. But dang nabbit, I'm not cheating the system.
Sound like you're about to sing mad like dang gum Mr. Oliver here.
I'm just saying. No, because it's
Mama, he did
it. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? We back. Yeah, we back on the show. Yep, and it's time to go.
Please no,
Young freestyle coming every week. You know it's gonna be cold like the winter. It's finna get cold. Like it's hot as a mug. Boy, I'm breathing low. I don't know what I just said, but I'm gonna keep it flowing. Keep it going, keep it moving. Yeah, keep it snowing. Like it's cold. You see the rhyme between them? What you mean? Come in between them? We're back on the podcast. We about to drop bars. Just to say she eat the freshest, yeah. Cause she riding foreign cars. That's the truth, cause Toyota is Japanese. We in America. Girl, please. Hey everybody, welcome into the show. It's time to go. Make sure you do it down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know how we feel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Twitter, 2, 3 is everywhere you want to. 5-star review. Do what you do. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another special edition of the MamaHeDidIt podcast. I'm your boy Jay Leck, and
your girl Jess, aka R.Lee. That's my middle name. Don't call me that because you don't know me.
You don't know her. What is that floating in front of my camera?
And I also hope that by episode 100, these freestyles are better if we're going to have to endure them, people. Sorry in advance.
Oh, yeah. You already know I'm coming with a fresh style for the 1-year anniversary. You know that 1-year anniversary is almost right around the corner.
No, it's not. It's at least 50 episodes away.
You capping, yo. You capping, bro. What you mean? It's 52
Let me stop and turn this music off.
No, bro. The 100, not the 100th episode, but we started last year on October 1st, bro. We 2 months away. We almost there, goddamn.
Talking about 1-year anniversary.
Because technically, week 52 is 1 year, so we should be there by October 1st. Get it together, sis. Get it together. But anyway, guys,
I didn't say 1 year. I said 100th episode.
I'm gonna have to Chris about episode 52 on baby.
That's cap, and we all know that.
You sleep on me, I'm gonna get loose on the beat. I might come with a fresh new beat. You never know about me. You hear how I just did that? You heard how it rhyme every time, like it's a songbird on my mind. Yeah, but anyway, guys, we are so excited to have y'all here today. Make sure you do all the things down below. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and wherever else you do things. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. Leave us 5-star Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora. Wherever you're listening, leave us 5-star review. We appreciate it. We love y'all. Comment because we keep you dropping the episode. Anyway, guys, just how you doing today? Where are you?
I just realized how the heck are you? Okay, I'm very much sleepy right now. I just realized that, but the week is going fine. Can't complain. What about you?
I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. She got done
Blessed
a
and
little
never
exercise.
pressed, which is why we don't have a why are you pressed situation going on today.
We ain't pressed this week, y'all. We blessed. And that's
Mhm.
gonna bring us into what we talking about this week. Sometimes in life, guys, I want y'all to walk down this lane with me, okay?
Oh, you finna do something
Sometimes
that
in life,
irritates me.
this is how Joe Osteen. Sometimes in life, you have to realize that
I
God
don't
has a
even know
plan
what
for
that
you.
man sound like.
God has a plan for you, and right now and right here is your time, your space for everything in God's circle to come right down on you and restore it as a blessing. But in those blessings, sometimes God provides you blessings with resources. Sometimes those resources are your brain, your ability to go do, your innovative skills. Sometimes those resources is mom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, TT. But tonight, here in tonight's episode 47 of the Mama He Did It podcast featuring Joel Osteen, we will
Boy.
be discussing the difference between a blessing, wise use of resources, and nepotism. And the kicker here off,
Please stop talking like this. I
I'm
can't.
just go to kick her off. Gosh darn, I'm gonna just go right in. We first have to define because when we were in school, let me tell you right here. You're in school now.
I'm not gonna be able to focus if you keep talking like
The
this.
teacher told us to define, create a hypothesis,
Ugh.
right? That's an educated what? Guestemundo. You know what I'm saying? So we have to define what
Now,
we're going
Joel
to
Osteen, they saying no, guess the mundo. Are we back to Elliot?
I'm talking regular now. But we have to define, we have to define what was going on. We had to create the what's the first sentence with the commas with 3 points of a paragraph?
The first sentence, like what is
Not the first sentence, like the sentence like at the end of a paragraph.
the attention getter?
No, it's a
The
word for it.
thesis?
The thesis. We had to create a thesis statement, right? Here we go. What are resources? Let's define what are resources. Here, the good book of Google, the good book of Google states that resources, definition number 1, it's a plural noun. So I could take the S off, but resources is obviously plural. A stock or supply of money, material, staff, or assets that can be drawn on by a person or organization in order to function effectively. Local authorities have complained that they have lacked resources, and that's from the news. All right. Definition number 2, an action or strategy which may be adopted in adverse circumstances. Sometimes anger is the only resource left in a situation like this, and that is it used in a sentence. Okay, so now we shall also define what is nepotism. Nepotism is a noun. The origin, the mountain of Nepotizo. That's the origin of the
that
word.
is not on there.
I'm just saying what the origin of the word is. Okay. The practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs. This word in a sentence goes as such. He promised an end to corruption and nepotism. Nepotism. All right. Now, I also said sometimes when I go get a definition, I want to go to Google sometimes, but a word like the blessing, you need to get it from the Bible. But I say, yeah, I just want to see what Google gonna say about the word blessing. How does Google define blessing? Google said blessing, a noun, God's favor and protection. God's favor and protection. Google already knew what the good book said. I ain't have to go do too much work. Google said it. Synonyms: protection and or favor. The word in a sentence. A priest gave a blessing as the ship was launched. There it is. There's the definitions, everybody. So now we will get down and discuss the differences between a person using resources and nepotism. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start this conversation off by giving Jessica a scenario.
It's not you start. Okay, I was going to say.
I'm going to give you a scenario. And you tell me what this person has done, right? So boom, okay. I'm fresh out of college, right? And I met a person who works at a company. And by me meeting this person then told me, hey, you should apply for a job at this company, right? So boom, I'm saying, okay, cool, bet, let's do it. The person then turns around and gives me the questions, not necessarily verbatim, but they give me the premise of the questions that will be asked at said interview if I were to get accepted, right? And so I get into the interview. These are so close. I've studied all these answers to these questions, and now I'm prepared for the interview. I go in the interview. They ask me the
So the
exact.
answers came with the questions?
No, the questions were given to you. You have to do the
Okay.
work to get the answers, right? So now that I have the answers, I get to the interview. The interviewer then asks said questions just like my friend told me, or the person that told me what will happen. Okay, I do good in the interview. I then get an offer letter to come work at the company. I get in and I work alongside with said person. In this situation, what is being used? A blessing, wise use of resources, or is this simply a case of nepotism?
I think I was lagging for a second, which is why I held off.
That was me. I think I was lagging.
Well, I could choose one, but I really think of all three because I can argue all of them. To be completely honest, because to meet that person, this is why I say I can argue all three. To be able to meet that person, I can say that's a blessing that I met this person at this point in time to provide me an opportunity. Now I was given the opportunity by God. That's God's favor. Now I built a connection with somebody and they say, hey, I think you'll actually be a great fit for this job. They aren't the one interviewing me, meaning they don't have the power to hire me, but they give me the resources and the things that I need to give me the best chance of getting the job. That's using my resources. Now I can also say the same thing where, hey, if that, like you said, a person you met. So I think it's wise use of resources rather than, oh, my uncle or my daddy was like, hey, here go a job. You ain't got an interview. That may be more like nepotism. Like if that person is the hiring manager and they say go apply, that's a little different than
that might be code of ethics. That might be code of ethics.
Right. So and to me that's only I feel like it's only in a situation like that, I feel like it's only nepotism if it's actually an open portal and they say, hey, you go and apply and they are the hiring manager. It seems more on the side of nepotism because they could just say, hey, I got a position for you. I want you to work here. And then boom, you just got who you wanted. You didn't necessarily,
Let me ask you this question. Is nepotism simply always a use of resources? Or
I think it's a what's the word? It's taking advantage of your use of resources. Like we'll just take the political side, right? So your dad's the governor, right? And you want to be the mayor. He opened all the doors for you and just boom, you get the position, right? If these were like not elected positions in that situation, like you just got the job because you knew them. Like my dad's a Fortune 500 owner. I'm now the new CEO when he retired because he's my dad. Like I didn't work for that in any way, shape, or form.
Is that just a blessing though?
The blessing was him being your daddy. You would have used your resources wisely if you would have took the education he could have provided you and earned a position rather than just being played. Like I feel like nepotism is like the king and queens, right? Like they just born and boom, you get it. Like you ain't do nothing to earn it.
I would favor that might be inheritance, ma'am. That might be inheritance. What's the difference?
Yeah, it's an inheritance, but that don't mean you earned it. That don't mean you deserve it just because you was born into a royal family. Like
that's true. Well, let me ask you this question, okay? So let's say we have a person whose parent is on a board, right? And their parents worked their way up through the company and got to the point to where they had the ability to hire, right? And then their child comes and interns. Let's say they intern, right?
I think that's easy resources, that part.
Okay. Then said child does a good job, great job, right? But then turns around
and job.
Yeah, do a good job. Then they turn around and come work at the company under the parent who hired them. What is that?
I feel like because they did a good job, it's just a blessing. that the position was open, they actually performed to the necessary requirements. It's more intuitive for a company to hire you once you've already interned or worked for them, because they know it's less onboarding, like all the stuff. And if you actually did a good job, then it's a blessing that you get to stay at a place you wanted to work at.
Yeah,
But
let's be honest. Most companies' onboarding process is trash.
yeah, most onboarding processes aren't that amazing. But if they don't want to have to redo that with a new hire, and somebody like take a doctor who did rounds at different locations, right? This one location might be more prone to hiring on somebody who works for them than taking a risk on somebody who they don't know, but only from their resume. When both of them are good, like if you both are good candidates, but you actually work for us and I know your work ethic, you get a little push. It's a blessing that you were there for that opportunity. And now you got to use your resources of making those connections to get that job. So
let me ask you this question. Now, can all situations like because I've been knowing him or we went to church together, is all that nepotism?
No.
You don't think so?
Because in the definition it said a position of power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it would didn't it refer to like political? Like, I feel like it's nepotism when you get something that's not on your scope of practice. Like, say for instance, we're entry level, whatever the job is. Now I come in at senior level instead of entry level when I don't have the experience for it. Nepotism. Entry level, and I come in as entry level, and I also have to work my way up in the company. Use of resources and a blessing.
Okay, well, I got a question. So I'm tying this into something, right?
I guess you are, because you loaded it on me.
Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on. Okay, so there's been a song that has gone viral, and hold on, give me 1 second. There has been a song that's gone viral, right? And it's called Richmond, North of Richmond by Oliver Anthony, right? And so the premise of the song, if y'all haven't heard it, pause, make sure you come back, go listen to the song. But we're going to break down the lyrics, right? I'm going to pull the lyrics up. I'm going to pull them up. Give me 1 second. Right? Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull these.
Oh, can I also give a definition of a real life scenario of what nepotism could be?
Wait.
Huh?
You say what?
I want to give an example I thought of with nepotism.
Okay, go ahead.
So we all know how our previous president, former president, Trump is on trial, or at least what is he right now? He's basically he done got the governor, a lady from Georgia filed something against him. We know that much, okay? We don't need to know all the specifics, but in his case, because he basically know all the governors and stuff like that, in some scenarios, in some states, the governor has the full authority to pardon somebody based on like reputation and good behavior and all, or whatever, right? But some of the states who don't includes Georgia, and that's where it was filed. So he don't have the opportunity to participate in some nepotism, because he could have, for instance, one of the states, Mississippi, has the sole authority to grant clemency or pardon, right? Now, if this happened in Mississippi, I guarantee he'd have called up old buddy and he would have got pardoned. This wouldn't even go to court. Like,
you know darn well that wouldn't went to court. Hey, this would have been dismissed. I'm gonna be honest. If it was in Georgia, just not near Atlanta,
no. It's the state of Georgia in general. Like, the governor doesn't have the sole authority to pardon him. It's like a board of people who have to basically vote and say it. But that's highly less likely because it's not on one sole person to make the decision. Where if it would have got filed in Alabama, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Kentucky, Mississippi, New Jersey, or New Mexico, North Carolina, Oregon, South Carolina, South Dakota, Virginia, Washington, and a few others. It's 15 states. The governor in any of those states could have gave full and sole authority to grant the pardon.
Wow.
So that if that was the case, and that if that would have happened, that would be nepotism.
So. All right, so I got the lyrics pulled up, everybody. I'm not gonna play the song because we don't want no copyright strikes. But
oh no,
we gonna share the screen. Here it is. Good old fella. Now, all the profane language, here's the MamaHeDidIt podcast. We do not condone profanity. Okay? So, as a result, I'm going to just look at it and just read through it like you just won't see it. It'll be a bleep. Okay?
Is this the first lyric on it?
Right. So, he said, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullcrap pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away. So let's stop right there. All right, we're gonna break this down like an annotated bibliography. That's what we used to do back in school. We're gonna annotate this thing, right? So, all right, what you think about the first couple lines, Jessica?
I think the statement "I've been selling my soul" is very literal. Like
it's a bit much.
Yeah, like it could be a lot. When I'm just like, dang, you sold your soul to the devil, dude. Like, you out here living for the world, you have no intentions of putting God first in your life. But I don't know if that's necessarily what he is meaning in this scenario.
Hey, what happened? I don't know what happened. Probably my Wi-Fi. But
did you hear what I said?
Say that again.
I'm asking. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, I was saying it basically says, I'm selling my soul to the devil and God will not be the first priority in my life. Damn, but also, I don't think this is what he's referring to just based on hearing the song once before. I think he might be saying like, I'm not living out my purpose in life because of the next line, working all day, overtime hours for horrible pay, basically. Like, I'm wasting my time. I'm selling my soul to the man because if I don't work for the man, then I still have nothing. But even when I do work for the man, I still don't have enough. So I think that's what he might be referring to when he's saying I've been selling my soul.
All right. So right here, he said,
you're not gonna tell what you think, or you just agree?
Oh, okay. I agree. I guess what I was saying when I heard working all day, I was like, oh, I get it. He just talked. He immediately talked about having to go to work every day and work hard for it. Yeah. All right. So next stanza, however music people say music. All right. So I could sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a dang shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. All right. So, what do you think about this? I feel like right here, he's more so gearing towards the way of life in America and how capitalism really is set up, right? Mm-hmm. So I can sit out here and waste my life away. So it seems like him going to work every day ain't enjoyable, which, hey, and that may not be the message. The message may be just him having to work hard and not receive the true fruits of his labor, and drag back home and drown my troubles away. Obviously, he's talking about liquor.
Yeah.
Drown my troubles away. It's a dang shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you.
I think he's saying, like for the everyday people, because we have to go to work all day, every day, we waste our precious like years of like actually enjoying life away. So because like the world we live in, because it's forced you to work to survive, now your survival is not as pleasing, and therefore you mourn in your own troubles because you work half the time and then the rest of the time you're too tired. So now you're just gonna be sad and drink and have other problems. And
Right.
that is the shame part for real.
Yeah.
And then it's like he's saying it's not like it used to be. What he's saying, what the world's gotten to for like everyday middle class people, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he wished he wasn't living this life. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, next stanza. Living in a new world with an old soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all want to have total control. Want to know what you think, they want to know what you do. And they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Because your dollar ain't squat and it's taxed to no end. Because the rich men north of Richmond.
I think you're going past too many stanzas here.
Okay. So let's go back. Living in the new world with an old soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they just want to have total control. He ain't really lying. Okay, so to me, it's the dispute here on this claim, and we're going to treat it like a court case. The dispute here is the rich men north of Richmond, which I would assume is Washington, right? The rich men north of Richmond, Virginia, which is about 2.5 hours north of Virginia, are trying to have total control. And you can take a deep dive in this. We talking full-blown politic campaign, full-on taxes, full-on policies, full-on world exchange and treaties and allies. And I think that's where you're going with this. What you think?
I was looking up something.
Okay.
But I think I'm overthinking it for sure.
Probably so.
Oh, whatever. I was trying to look up and see how many electoral votes that Virginia had.
Electoral votes. What is she doing? Was you counting Georgia? Trump might be right. You thinking too much, bro.
Yeah, I'm overdoing it for sure. I'm gonna stop looking at it. But basically, I mean, I agree with what you said. Basically, people in Washington want all the control, and they want to know what everybody is doing, but still be able to control what we do.
They want to know, and they want their piece, buddy.
Mr. And we're just saying Washington as like the business of politics in America. Not specifically the state of Washington, even though that is the home of politics, I guess.
All right. So they want to know what you think. They want to know what you do. And they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Because your dollar ain't ish. And it's taxed to no end. Because the rich man north of Richmond. So look, boom. I think that's true. You even see that with Apple. Do you want us to track your data across other apps?
Yeah, I get asked that so much. Like it's like they be asking us for us to give permission, like to make us feel like we got the power, but they tracking it anyway. I don't feel like they really respect.
You know how I know they are? I'm gonna tell you how I know they are. So I just downloaded Monopoly Go, right? And I've been playing it.
Be my friend.
Okay, cool. I'll beat you. Girl, please. I got 10 million in the bank, big Rex.
I'm coming knocking down some buildings, though.
Oh yeah, we'll be friends. But I've been playing Monopoly Go. I downloaded the app. I didn't say anything. It said, do you want to allow it to track across apps? I said, do not track. This thing I've been watching YouTube today, getting Monopoly Go ads after back to back to back. And I know I'm getting tracked. So I definitely agree with Mr. Anthony here. I agree. They want to know.
It's trying to make us think that it ain't tracking.
There is governmental records that Facebook and Apple had basically a beef, and that's why Apple started asking us questions. Because at first, I guess it's all about money. So I think it was a beef. So Apple was like, "Boom, we're gonna make these people know that we selling their information, selling because you create basically like a database for yourself." And your information, so they sell it in like this big old freaking server, and Facebook that's how Facebook deploys ads based off what you like. And so because they not asking you, do you want to track? They like, okay, boom, most people gonna say no. Now Facebook gonna be hurting because they ad revenue ain't gonna be busting like it used to be. That's facts. You can Google that. And so,
Nah, I believe it.
and so now you look at it, it's a beef there. So they've been selling our data the whole time, but now it's just the issue where it became about money. So now they start giving the people, make people like us think that we had control over our data, which you really don't. And so that's why they ask you the question now. So I agree. This got some meat and potatoes behind it. This line right here, they want to know what you think. They want to know what you do. They do. They make
I think
money
he's
off
talking
of
to
it.
them on the next line when he said, "Cause your dollar ain't none and it's taxed to no end." I don't think he's referring to like our money. I think he's saying like the money that y'all paying us ain't worth nothing because it's always taxed, and it just go back to where the front where it's saying I'm working all day, but it ain't for nothing.
I'm finna pull up another thing. Hold on. Ooh, I got a bar. Hold on. What's this thing? It's called I'm finna prove the whole world wrong. Y'all finna get mad. Y'all gonna be mad at me for what you finna see. You understand me? All right. Oh snap. Let me share screen. I'm gonna share screen. Should view. View. Share screen. Share screen.
Dude, my refrigerator loud.
Boom. Check this out. This is the U.S. national debt clock, right? And so if you look right here, this is why what Anthony Oliver Anthony, whatever his name is, what he's saying is right here, the U.S. national debt clock. You don't even know how many digits this is, right?
Too many for me to think about.
The debt per citizen, 97,590.
I'm almost there right now. What's student loan?
Hold on. No, you're here, baby. Debt per taxpayer, 253,680. This right here is for babies that ain't paid not nary a tax. Who ain't spent $1? This is for babies. This is for everybody that made $1 in their life. This is how much debt you owe upon birth. 253,680.
I don't know where that is, because I ain't paying it back.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. In order for the U.S. to get out of debt, they will have to pay, every person on earth that pays taxes will have to pay this much money. $250,686.
I'm not included in that right now.
So that right there just shows you, right, that there's so many issues going on.
It's the fact that all of it is red, just red.
It's all red because it's all bad, bruh. And I hate to put it like that, but it's just the God honest truth. So we're gonna keep on pushing. All right. I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere.
That's talking about sex trafficking, probably.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm gonna keep it pushing. I ain't gonna lie. When, like, to me, I don't be into politics for real, like talking about. So when they get that deep into it, I be like,
it also be talking about free labor, like immigrant work, like cheaper labor.
Okay, I don't think that's good. Cause look how it's spelled. That's labor. This is
no. People. I'm saying it's just not minor. I'm talking about that sentence. Like it's saying I wish they.
I'm saying minor spelled this way. No, fam. I'm saying minor spelled this way is people.
Yeah. The other one is a profession.
Minor, that's profession. Yeah.
Yeah. What do minors dig for?
Gold, bro. Or
look for the natural resources, staying in the homeland.
What are you? I understand that, but I'm talking about this line right here.
Yeah, I think minors on the other. Yeah, I think that part is about either sex trafficking or or about using cheaper labor somewhere else. Because
I would love to hear what this is really about. I don't have a clue what that's about. I would love to hear what it's about. Like I think you close, but I don't know who you right.
I mean, at this point, I didn't write the lyrics. He does a genius.
All right, he said, "Lord, we got folks in the street ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare." He said, "Well, God, if you're 5'3", right, he said, "Well, God, hold on, let me finish the bar." He said, "Lord, we got folks in the street ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds." Hilarious, but true. Okay, so again, this is preference. We get digging into politics here now. Talk about welfare, right? I won't go as far as saying welfare is a bad thing. I think people need it. But I see him saying this line right here is just, I guess, people that's abusing it. But just because I'm 5'3", 300 pounds, don't mean I don't get hungry. So,
Yeah,
just because I'm
but I will
5'3",
say
300 pounds and poor, don't mean I don't get hungry.
the line above that, I think it has a double meaning though. I think these two lines were kind of like kicks and giggles, but and the obese milk and welfare, I think the milking part kind of, I read it as, and the greedy are like people that are trying to get over on the system, like not necessarily obese people, but in the term of like somebody that might be greedy.
I think to me, this may be even more so of a jab strictly towards taxes, because here he say taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. I think he's just like, bro, we paying all
Yeah,
these
but he's
taxes
saying
for fudge
because
rounds.
the taxes we pay cover Medicare and welfare and all that stuff.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. I think his issue is more so with taxes, not necessarily the people eating fudge rounds. It's 300 pounds of 5'3".
Well, I think he's talking about both. I think he's talking about the fact that a lot of the American tax dollars go into these different insurance plans or whatever to help people, which is good. But then you also have people who are milking the system, and it's just to their benefit. It's not because
so you have people, and I agree, you do have people that selfishly milking. But then again, is that a wise use of resources or a blessing, or is it nepotism? I guess it really gonna be nepotism, but is that just me using what I'm getting it anyway? I might as well get these fudge rounds.
No, I think that's just nepotism for poor people, or like nepotism for greedy people. Like you're not necessarily in a position of power when you filing for this stuff, but you put yourself in the position of power to abuse it. So that's how I would define it. Like,
so it's not me. So just because,
yeah, it's like a it's like saying, okay, we a family of 4, right? But if you married, you can still file single. So instead of filing married, you probably gonna outweigh it, right? But if you say it's the whoever in the relationship maybe making less that can qualify, so hey, I'm gonna file single and I'm gonna put the kids on my tax write-off.
So we get bigger refunds.
So now we can get bigger refunds, and now we can apply for these government assisted programs. But we are fully functioning family and really don't need it. But because I can file single and you don't, and now we don't file our taxes joint, and I can now put the kids on mine. Now it look like I don't make enough money to hold a household for 2 kids.
But is that a wise use of resources? So this is the reason I say
I think it's abuse of resources.
It
just
may
because
be.
you know how to
I'm
get
not
around
saying
the
it's not.
system don't make it a good thing to do.
I'm not saying it's not, but here we go to Texas. We talking about Texas now.
Yeah.
It is known that rich people evade taxes in very legal ways. Is it wrong for a person? Is it ethically wrong or is it morally wrong?
I think it's both. Because why are you stealing from people who really need the help when you really don't need it?
Who said I'm stealing?
Because if the tax dollars from others are paying for it, you're stealing.
I'm just saying, I'm not agreeing to this grant. I'm just making it. I'm just punching holes in it. I'm just Swiss cheesing this thing. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying you're gonna have to pay taxes anyway, baby.
But they increase and decrease based on the need. So if the need is higher because every rich man want to cheat the system, now the middleman is paying more while they pay less. It's stealing. You stealing money to pay money.
I get what you're saying, but I'm a advocate for the rich here, right?
I ain't saying it's like technically are you doing it correctly? Sure.
Or is that just a wealth building strategy? What is it?
I don't think that's wealth building. That's just getting out of taxes. Like it's the taxes that they charge you, it's not gonna break you.
But
if you really can do it.
Hey,
okay, that's just a person. I don't want to do a lot of things. But dang nabbit, I'm not cheating the system.
Sound like you're about to sing mad like dang gum Mr. Oliver here.
I'm just saying. No, because this hurts everybody. Like it hurts people with actual disabilities. It hurts people who are actually like needing the help. Like he said, it's people on the street and you out here stealing money from people that work their hard time and stuff like that to actually put in to help people. But now you make me not want to do it because you stealing from me when it should be actually helping us.
And I'm gonna even go say as far as I agree with you. But this is where I disagree with Mr. Oliver. On this line right here, he said, where he said, "What the world's gotten to." I don't even see it.
Oh,
What the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Okay, this is why I say this. The American middle class has always had this issue. It just wasn't so big and bold in your face. Like, 'cause we have social media and everything today. So I feel like the pressures that he is singing from with his heart, he's singing with his heart in this song right here. If y'all listen to the song, he's singing with his heart. I feel like the American middle class has been having these issues since the beginning of freaking time. The issue is now it's so obvious what's going on. That's why everybody is in an uproar. Now, I will say, is it right? Maybe not. Is it illegal? No. And that's why people do it. So how can we get around this?
I mean, that's the person's ethical, moral, spiritual code, whatever you want to call it.
Could you sleep well at night knowing you milking the system like this?
I wouldn't want to do it at all.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to milk a system.
So let me ask you this question. If you are Elon Musk, Warren Buffett rich, are you paying the full taxes?
Just pay your taxes, bro. You gonna make it back up. Like if you them people, you gonna make the money over in one night, maybe a couple hours.
Because what did Jesus say? Give to Caesar what is who? Caesar's, little Caesar, not the big one, little Caesar's. Yeah. What did he say? Okay, so here we go. Keep going. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground.
That's death.
Right? That's suicide.
Or suicide, yeah.
Because all this dang country does is keep kicking them down. Lord, it's a dang shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you.
I think this is suicide rates are increasing because people feel like there is nowhere to go. And every time I try, I fail. And it's a shame that the world doesn't recognize this.
I agree. I feel like that's more so playing into societal pressure, societal norms, and a mental health issue, and feeling like it's no way to escape because he even said it right
I'm
here.
glad the mental health like awareness is I think it's increasing a lot more with our generation and like the generation directly above us. Like it's becoming more normal to talk about, yes, I do have anxiety. Yes, I have had depression. Yes, I stress a lot. Like it's more normal to say these things, and it's more normal to not feel bad about, oh, you going to see a therapist? What's wrong with you? Like it's not that anymore. It's like, oh, you going to see a therapist? Who you talk to? Like it's okay to need help more so in this generation than it was in generations past, where it's like you get it how you got to get it. You work hard. You don't ask for no help. You know, like I think it's a different morale when it comes to how to maneuver this thing called life.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree. Really, you really mic dropped there. I feel like the middle class feels pressures from everywhere, right? So you always hear people say rich people act broke, broke people act rich. In the middle class, you are literally in the middle of that. I got enough money to not be broke, but I don't have enough money to live how I want to live. I don't have enough money to feel completely free. And I feel like with that comes a lot of grind, getting out the mud mentality. As a result, people feel like they run out of options. And when you start putting so much pressure on money, wealth, fame, the come up, you lose sight of the blessings that God can give you. And as a result, the devil creeps in and young men start putting themselves 6 feet in the ground. Men and women, yeah. And I just feel like that's one of the issues that can be mitigated if people do become more spiritual. It's something that can be mitigated if people do let life just life. You gotta let life, meaning let the blessings
Sometimes
come.
you gotta sit still. You gotta
and I feel like a blessing can be an actual thing. A blessing can also be my mindset, the blessing of me being able to use my resources wisely. It also can be a blessing can also be me having people that I know who have done this before me, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I can use these resources. And yeah, it may be labeled as nepotism for me to get to this level or get to where I'm trying to get to. But hey, that may be how your blessing is gift wrap, right?
Yeah. And just this is on my I ain't gonna say it's on my heart or nothing. But like when we were just reading the definitions, I found it, appealing that the defined term for blessing was God's favor, right? And I think saying God's favor is saying the power is within that blessing. Like when it defined nepotism, it was saying the use of power. Like you were put in a position of power, or you were using someone else's position of power. But when we refer to God's favor, the power is within the element of that it is God. Like it's an eternal, all powerful type of power. It's not something that can be measured or taken away. It's imminent and omniscient. Like it is as it is in its name, just God's favor. So I like that.
No shit. All right, so you go back to the chorus. And then the next verse is, I think that's it. So he finished off living in a new world. It's a dang shame, yada yada, with a lot of songs basically. And so that's just something that's been going crazy in the interwebs across the world. And I just want to bring it here for us to discuss it, break that thing down brick by brick, kind of get an understanding of what's going on in this song. Anyway, just got anything else for the peeps before we get up out of here?
Pray for the blessings, use the resources God provides. That's the summary of tonight's not lesson. What was I going to say? Listen.
Not the lesson. Not the lesson. All right,
don't
man.
Use
look,
nepotism, people.
I'm not gonna say don't use it. I ain't gonna even say don't use it. I say if it's there for you, use it, because that may be your blessing. But I will say,
saying seeing a person drop $100 and calling that your blessing. Like, no, pick up that $100 to get it back.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's a difference between nepotism and somebody dropping $1 on the ground. Just because my mama is the boss and I get the job doesn't mean I'm not qualified. Doesn't mean I didn't earn it.
I didn't say that. I said nepotism was when you got something that you didn't have the qualifications for.
Okay. You done brought something up out of me now. Cause I was gonna leave that Bible alone, but the Bible called me back every time. So I'm gonna break that Bible down brick by brick. Okay,
boy,
let me take it this right here. What is the resource God gave us? The resource is what? The Bible, right? So we got the Bible, we read the Bible, and as we read the Bible, we become faithful. God does what? He blesses us. I am now a son of God, and God blesses me because I am his son. Is that nepotism? Is God am I using nepotism because I'm God's child and he's giving me blessings? He's giving me these resources to use wisely. Is that nepotism?
No.
Same situation.
I really don't think so.
It's the same thing, bro. Just because God gave me a book and I read the book, I believe I'm faithful. He blesses me as a result. Me getting these resources and using these resources wisely does not mean I'm using nepotism because I'm his son. I'm related to him. So is that nepotism?
But it's just like what you're trying to say is that God's use of power is nepotism.
No, I'm saying me accepting that God is blessing me and putting me in position to use these resources wisely is that me using the resources of nepotism itself.
No, because you using the word resources and then putting nepotism in it.
Break it down there. Keep on breaking.
I'm just saying,
like, it's not wrong and don't break it down.
No, it's you using the term to define a different term. You can't say the use of resources.
I'll word it another way. I'll word it another way.
I said it's the abuse of resources. You can't abuse God.
Right. But some people be abusing.
You can abuse his grace.
You can abuse his relationship.
Yeah,
you can abuse God.
No, but wait. You can't abuse God. You can abuse your relationship with God.
Right. Okay. So boom, I'm God's child.
Mm-hmm.
God bless.
How did you become God's child?
Through the resource of the Bible.
Okay. And what did that offer you?
It offered me salvation.
That's the reward.
That's all. But it offers me that.
That's work, or rather faith in this situation, to reward.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ever earn the position or title to really earn this reward. So how can it be nepotism? It was grace and
okay,
favor.
okay. I'll break it down a
which
little
is a
further.
blessing.
I'm gonna break it. One thing about me, I'm gonna break it down. All right. So I go to work. I come home. I got paid. I take my blessing of my paycheck to Books a Million. This is not a sponsored advertisement by Books a Million. I take my blessing of my paycheck to Books a Million. I then buy the Bible with the blessing of the dollars. Now I read the Bible and God continues to bless me. He blessed me in the beginning without working. He blessed me by giving me the money anyway. Then I turn around and read the Bible. Then I get more blessings. Then is that not nepotism?
No. And I say because we are not spared from trials.
I'm not negating that.
Okay, we're not spared from trials, and neither is the person who doesn't follow God's will spared or neglected from blessings or trials. Like you get blessings and you get trials
whether you're faithful or not. Right. Okay.
Regardless, right? Because he provides the opportunity for you to come to him. It is free will, it is free choice. So the blessings that you receive, knowing that it is from God, is a blessing, but that doesn't mean if you don't know where your blessings come from, that it wasn't from God. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be nepotism if it's given to everyone.
And Sister Jess has spoke. Sister Jess has spoke, guys. Man, I don't know how else we can end this off. She just mic drop, backdrop. I tried to stunt her. I tried to hit her with the RKO, but she didn't go down. Sister Jess know that word, and that word is in her, and the word is Sister Jess.
Oh no, that's don't say that verse with me now. You put God where he belongs now.
JK, big God, JKGOD. All right. Anyway, guys, man, thank y'all for tuning in to another special rendition of the MamaHeDidIt podcast. Man, before we get out of here, make sure y'all just do us a little favor, man. Make sure y'all like. Talking about nepotism in this
Take
thing.
your hand off the earphone.
I want to. Yeah. Sister
No,
Jess
I couldn't hear you for a
bars.
second.
Sister Jess dropped some bars, and she dropped some bars about God and blessings. You can
All
get
right,
them whether
this has been a great episode, folks. Love to hear it.
Man, thank y'all. Make sure you do everything down below. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, YouTube, and everything. Man, we love y'all. We're gonna see y'all at the conference, the convention, and the revival. Peace.
Peace.